We can then kind of look at what an ideal cardio workout might actually be for a beginner. Now, something that I say time and time again is that adherence is by far one of the most important determinants when it comes to any exercise program, any nutrition program, or anything involved in fitness. If you don't like it, or if you don't stick with it, guess what's going to happen? You are not going to reap the benefits. You are not going to reap the results of basically the whole reason why we do exercise. The people who are consistently, that's redundant, of course. The people who are the most consistent when it comes to any exercise routine, even if it means maybe you're only working out twice a week or 3 times a week, that person is going to win out if they are consistent and do it over a long period of time versus somebody who's maybe working out 5 days a week. But they can't adhere to that. And in a month, in 2 months, they end up falling completely off of it. You can clearly see who's going to win. So when you're talking about a cardio program that's ideal for beginners, that's one of the most important things I want to drive home is to pick something you like. Don't pick something you hate. So many times individuals that I work with will say, I just started running. Why'd you just start running? Oh yeah, one of my friends did that for some fat loss. It worked great for him. Do you like running? No, not really, but I do want to lose some weight. Okay, so you're going to do something you hate to lose some weight for a very short amount of time, and then what happens after you lose the weight? Do you keep running? No, because you hate it. And then guess what? You gain all the weight back. Pick something you like. That's going to be super, super crucial. Another thing to remind yourself are, what are your goals? Are you trying to run a 5K and optimize your overall running and speed? Or are you just trying to feel better? This is going to really dictate which cardiovascular exercise you can do because that really matters. For somebody who's trying to get the most out of their workouts and maybe you're trying to be very specific and I'm trying to run a 5K to get better at running, you're going to need to do that running. You're going to need to do that specific activity. If you're trying to do a triathlon and you're not a huge fan of swimming, but in a triathlon you actually need to do swimming in addition to biking, in addition to running as part of the triathlon, you're going to need to do all those forms of cardio. And I'm not saying you need to do triathlon. That's just kind of an example talking about specificity. If you are just trying to feel better, you can literally do any type of cardiovascular exercise. They're all going to give good benefits, and I would actually highly recommend to literally do all of them. Maybe some biking, some walking, running, swimming, rowing machine, stair stepper, some jump rope, hiking. All those are good activities. And when you have that at your disposal because you're just trying to feel better, most people are just trying to feel better, you open yourself up to so many different forms of physical activity. And that's, at the end of the day, the name of the game. Finding something you like, finding something you can adhere to for a long period of time. Another thing I do want to bring up when talking about an ideal cardio workout for beginners is simply having pain or discomfort in your body. So if you're somebody who has a lot of joint issues, you might want to lean on something that's more low impact. We mentioned a few of them already, but biking, swimming, rowing, recumbent bike, so that sit back bike might be a good idea. If you are somebody who has a lot of joint issues, running, maybe even walking might be a little aggravating to first start. And ideally, you would get to a point where hopefully you could do some of these activities someday. But when you're first starting out and you're just trying to get into the gym, get in some good cardio, don't really stress over this. Know it might be a goal one day to hopefully run without pain. But if all you can do right now is a bike ride, that's great. Stick to it. Get some good cardio in. Get a good sweat in. Get some endorphins. Feel good. So we've addressed we need to pick something we enjoy. And likely we need to pick something, if we're starting out and there's joint pain, picking something that's low impact. And we just discussed a few of those. And then as a baseline, this is again just a ballpark guideline, trying to get about 150 minutes of activity a week. And that's a simple baseline. And of course, the more you do, the more benefits this will be. So this isn't saying that you should just do 150 minutes of brisk walking or 150 minutes of jogging and then that's it. Nope, I'm not doing any more. I'm not doing 1 minute over. I hit 150 minutes. That's great. If you do hit that, that's awesome. I actually applaud you, but you can get much more benefits for reducing the risk of chronic disease and also keeping a lot of your independence and bodily strength if you do more. Of course, there is a tipping point where more isn't going to be better, but for most individuals starting out in the gym, you're coming from a background of usually being pretty sedentary and not doing a lot of physical activity. So just using this idea that more is probably going to be better is a good metric. You don't have to cut yourself off.